Did the title of this video make you mad? Are you ready to listen to me and then hammer down in the comments about what a moron I am? Well, keep watching, kids, because you got plenty of ammunition coming. Hey there. I am once again John Hartness. I am a professional writer, publisher, editor, podcaster, and asshole on the internet who's gonna piss you off all night tonight because it's 7:30 on a Saturday night and I just got back from a convention where I didn't sell nearly enough. So I'm in a bad mood, so you get to be in a bad mood. So just like Sonya Deville says on Monday Night Raw, put your hair up and square up. Because this is why writer's block is a myth and NaNoWriMo is crap. It's not. NaNoWriMo's not crap. NaNoWriMo's not crap, but like a lot of things, it gets perverted into something that does as much harm to some people as it does good. What is it intended to do? It is intended to give people an idea of the discipline required to write a novel. It is intended to show someone what it takes to finish a long-term fiction project. It is intended to help people get out of their own head and get out of their own way and banish the demons of self-doubt that keep you from writing and keep you from finishing your projects. What does it turn into? Well, if my Facebook feed is any indication, for a lot of you it turns into a big fucking stress ball that makes you go on Facebook and bemoan the fact that you aren't where you need to be for your NaNoWriMo goals and you aren't on track and oh my God, you're going to fail again and you're never going to be anything as a writer because you can't write 50,000 words in a month. For fuck's sake, that's not what makes a writer. It's really not. When NaNoWriMo is great is when you're a brand new writer and you've never written any long form fiction. You don't know if you can. When I wrote The Chosen, my first book, I had no idea if I could write a book. I had never written anything longer than a couple thousand words. When I wrote the book, I just sat down and wrote for half an hour every morning before I went to work. That's all I did. I kept going on the same story, and I would just sit down and say, well, what happens next? And I'd write for 30 minutes. Then, when I got going, when I got a real rhythm going, I moved it up to writing for an hour every morning. As I got closer to what I felt should be the end of the story, I realized I should really figure out what happens at the end. And then I kind of made some notes and scribbled out how we were going to go, and then I wrote the ending. Then I spent 2 years polishing the book in various ways, and you can still buy it. It's for sale. It's decent. I still like the story. My point is that when NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month for the one human being who may have clicked on this video and not know what NaNoWriMo is. When NaNoWriMo is good, it makes someone sit down at a keyboard every day for a period of time and put words on the page. And it gives you this random, arbitrary word count. It uses 50,000 words because a lot of people say that 50,000 words is the low-end cutoff for a novel. Not very many people publish 50,000 word works of fiction and call them novels nowadays, but sure, whatever, you need a round number. I probably, if I were creating NaNoWriMo today, I would probably say 30,000 words. And we'd call it National Novella Writing Month, because then you're writing 1,000 words a day for 30 days. You've got a day left over at the end of the month. Wait, how many days does November have? Hang on. Okay, you don't even have a day left over at the end of the month. You've got 1,000 words a day, every day this month. You've written a novella at the end, and that's better than most people ever get done. But writing a novel sounds better than writing a novella, blah, 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 blah. I know why they chose 50,000 words. I know why they chose novel instead of novella. But there's a little tiny OCD part of me that's annoyed at the fact that 50,000 doesn't divide really cleanly by 30. But when it's good, it gets you out of your own head. Because most of what hangs people up about writing a novel and keeps them from actually writing books is they think they can't. They're not stupid. They're not stupid enough to succeed. I've said this on multiple occasions to multiple people. The vast majority of the things I have accomplished in my life are because I am too stupid to fail. I'm not too big to fail. I'm not the banking industry in 2008, although I'm pretty sizable. I'm too stupid to fail. When I set out to do something, the idea that I can't do it doesn't ever occur to me. I have accomplished things that I never should have managed on my own or with the training and background that I have, because not succeeding just never entered my mind. That comes from having supportive parents, being born with a certain level of straight white male privilege. I understand that I was blessed in my early life to be supported into thinking that I really could do anything I set my mind to. And I have. So when NaNoWriMo is good, it makes you too stupid to fail. It gets you out of your own way. It keeps you from thinking about, well, I have to make this word perfect. I have to make this word perfect. I have to sit and ponder and find the perfect word. And then I write down the perfect word. And then I sit and I ponder. This is my ponder face. This is what I do when I ponder. There's often a cat involved, but he's upstairs asleep right now. I have to ponder and find the next perfect word. And then I write it down. And then I ponder. When Nano is good, it doesn't let you do that bullshit. It makes you write. Because you can't edit this. That's the stuff that's the shopping list that's written on the back of the page. You can't edit that either because it's already scribbled out. But you can't edit a blank page. And I need Tide Pods, apparently. You have to write well. You can't make it good if there's nothing to make gooder. See what I did there? I said bad words so that I can go back later and edit this video, which we all know I'm not going to do. But the principle is the same. When NaNoWriMo is helpful, it is getting you out of your head. And some people work very well with accountability. My friend DJ Spider posts her post-workout selfies every morning. Spider is a beautiful woman. She's a fantastic person, one of the most talented cosplayers I've ever seen. And at 7:30 in the morning, after a real hefty workout, she's not looking her best. And she tags every one of those with hashtag accountability because that helps motivate her to continue going to the gym, and that makes her feel better. She goes to the gym, she exercises, she feels better. Awesome. that accountability works for her. For some people, the accountability aspect of NaNoWriMo helps them. For some people, it's the community. My friend Tamsin has participated in multiple NaNoWriMos, and one of the things that she got out of it was community. At one point, she was living in New York City and didn't know a lot of other writers. Participating in NaNoWriMo helped her build a community of writers that she could talk to and commiserate with and drink with. No, wait. Polished her craft with. Those are the times when NaNoWriMo is great. When it's not great is when it's this fucking albatross hanging around your neck making you feel shitty about not writing when you already feel shitty about not writing. When it's not good is when it's another thing weighing you down and sitting on your chest and causing you anxiety. If it's doing that to you, then fucking quit. You volunteered for this shit. You aren't paying a membership fee to National Novel Writing Month. It doesn't cost you anything to say, fuck y'all, I'm out. If it's making your writing painful and stressful and awful, don't do it. You don't have to. I, the professional publisher and writer, hereby give you permission to quit. As an ordained minister, I hereby absolve you of the sin of quitting. Here, lean forward, put your head right there in the palm of my hand and be healed. You feel better? Because I think I dislocated my fucking shoulder doing that, so I hope you feel better. NaNoWriMo is a tool. It should be fun. It should be, let's see if I can do this. Like some people run marathons to see if they can do it. And they train for a year. And they find out that was terrible. I understand why the first guy that ever ran that distance died. But they did it. And they're like, okay, peace out. I'm done. I got there. But sometimes they stop. Sometimes they run a half marathon. Sometimes they realize that, yeah, that knee I blew out in high school, it has not gotten any better in the intervening 25 years. I still hurt. Not going to do this. Don't do voluntary shit that makes you feel bad. You don't have to write 50,000 words in a month. I am not going to come to your house and look at your computer and track your day-by-day progress on your novel. I don't even do that for the people that have novels under contract with me. I'm sure as hell not going to do it for you. I don't even know you. I mean, some of you I know because some of you do have novels under contract with me. I'm not going to do that. I don't even know if I can. If Word can do that, or Scrivener can do like historical daily word counts, let me know. Because I'd be interested in tracking that for myself every once in a while. Here's the thing. We are genre fiction writers. We make up stories. When we are fortunate, people give us money to make up stories. We are entertainers. We are sharing our art with the world. We are hopefully making the world a little better with everything we do. But you know what we're not? We are not, as I used to say when I was in the construction business, we are not shipping kidneys. Do you know how many people will die if I do not release Quincy Harker #6 by the end of this year? Exactly the same number of people that will die if I do. The books that we release are important, but they're not lifesavers. There are things that are more important than you writing a novel. There are things more important than me writing a novel, and I fucking make my living writing novels. My wife is more important than me writing a novel. Hell, the health of my cat is more important than me writing a novel. And it's how I make my living. So if your participation in a voluntary writing exercise is causing you distress, drop that shit like a bad habit. It ain't worth it. Many of the professional writers I know don't write 50,000 words in a month. Some write significantly more. Some write 5,000 or 6,000 words every day. I don't think that's sustainable for the long term, but they may very well prove me wrong, and if so, good luck and God bless. For me, I can't write 50,000 words a month every month and make it be sustainable at any level of quality. My monthly word count is usually about 40,000. I try to do around 2,000 words a day, and I try to only write Monday through Friday. Sometimes I fail. If I have to run a lot of errands, pardon me, McDonald's on the way back from the con, it does not taste better the second time around. If I have to run a bunch of errands in the middle of the day and deal with people on a Wednesday, then I'll end up writing on Saturday or Sunday because I didn't get my words in that week. But I don't typically write 50,000 words in a month. I will this month because I'm behind. Why am I behind? Because I didn't write very much this summer. I wrote practically nothing in the months of May and June, and not a whole lot in July. And that's going to go to the next part of my clickbait title. And oh yeah, I know it was a clickbait title. 100%. You know why I wrote a clickbait title? Because people click on it. It fucking works. It's bait, you idiots. Writer's block is bullshit. You done arguing with me? Good. Because writer's block's still bullshit. What do I mean when I say that? People use the term writer's block as an excuse to not write. If you use writer's block as an excuse to not write, then fine, do NaNoWriMo and suffer as much as all of the other people on my Facebook feed and quit your bitching. At least you'll be bitching about something different. There are days when you can't write. Mental health issues are real. They are not bullshit. This is the bottle of pills I take one from every morning to deal with my mental health issues, to handle my depression. There's also another pill for blood pressure because I'm fat, and another pill for gout because fat. But this one keeps me able to write most days. I can't write when I'm in the middle of a depressive episode. Sorry. I spent a lot of time on the couch this year. I watched all but the first 2 seasons of Criminal Minds. So I watched 13 seasons of Criminal Minds. I played a lot of Diablo 3. But at no point did I have a writer's block. I didn't have writer's block because a carpenter doesn't have carpenter's block. An electrician doesn't have electrician's block. I used to say that plumbers don't have plumber's block, but then I replaced the sewer line between my house and the meter, and I found out that plumbers do sometimes have blockages, and it may cost you $5,000 to get your yard dug up and have that block fixed and removed. So plumbers have gone out of that explanation. I write for a living. It's my job. But sometimes, due to health concerns, you can't do your job. That's not writer's block. This ephemeral thing that people call writer's block is similar to that ephemeral thing they call your muse. I have a muse. It's Wells Fargo. They own this house. They want to get paid every month, whether I feel like writing or not. So why didn't I write very much in the middle of this year? I spent a lot of time helping take care of my dad and drive him to doctor's appointments before he died. Then I spent a lot of time dealing with the fact that my dad died. That was a lot harder than I expected it to be, and I couldn't write. Some of it was time concerns. When you're sitting in a hospital room all day with a terminal cancer patient, it's hard to write. When you're looking around and trying to reevaluate the world because yours has changed dramatically, it's hard to write. Those are mental health concerns. That's not writer's block. Writer's block is bullshit. Your mental health is not. I was on a panel in September at DragonCon, and it was a panel called "You Finished Your Novel, Now What?" There were 2 editors from major presses, 2 agents, and me on the panel. Someone in the audience during the Q&A said, "I hear all of this talk about you have to write every day. Well, what happens when your mental health doesn't let you?" Well, I felt uniquely qualified to speak to that gentleman. And what I said was, don't let someone else's bullshit metric define your success. Everyone who says you must write every day, if they write every day and it works for them, go for it. My friend Bob, he pushes to write 1,000 words every day. A couple other professional writer friends of mine do like I do, and they try to work only Monday through Friday. I have a friend who their process is they sit down, they edit what they wrote the day before, and then they write new words. My process is I sit down, I very briefly look over what I wrote the day before to remember where the hell I stopped, and then I write new words. I don't edit anything until the entire document is done, but I rewrite as I go. Like, I'll write the same sentence 3 times, but then I'm gone, and I'm on to the next thing. So everyone's process is different. You don't have to write every day. You don't have to write 50,000 words in the month of November. You don't have to write 50,000 words a year. If you want to write professionally, yes, you do need to generate a certain level of word count, and you do need to do it fairly consistently. And I fell into the same trap I'm going to tell you guys not to fall into. I fell into the exact same linguistic trap that I'm trying to talk you out of. If you want to write for a living, you need to generate a certain amount of words, and you need to do it consistently. Writing, like every other art, can be done professionally and not make up your entire living. Writing for a living isn't for everybody. Working from home is not for everybody. It wasn't for me the first time I quit my day job. I did not handle the transition very well from 18 years of going to a job to coming home and not leaving for 2 or 3 days at a time. Sorry, that piece of paper that I used as a visual aid was under my elbow and it was bugging me. So you can be a professional and not write for a living. Some of you have jobs that are very important to society. Some of you do actually save lives and impact the future of children in America when you go to work. I don't want you to quit your day job because we still need doctors. We still need educators. We need really good doctors and educators. And there's a lot of writers. And you can do both. I have a lot of friends who do both. I only have a few friends who are doctors and writers, but they manage. So writer's block as an excuse is bullshit, because excuses are bullshit. Not being able to write because of mental health issues is a reason you should go to a doctor or a therapist or a priest or a friend, but preferably a doctor. Don't just say, well, I'm depressed. I can't do anything about it. No, because you can. You can go get help. I did. And I held off on getting treatment for my depression for decades because I was afraid that it would stifle my creativity. And I've talked to many people who felt the same fear. For me at least, and for everybody else I've talked to that has gotten help for their depression, getting help allows you to be creative again. When you're in the midst of depression, it feels like you're thinking through fog. It feels like there's something heavy pressing down on you all the time. When the meds kick in, all of a sudden you can sit up straighter. You can hold your head up a little better. You can see the story better. You can see the characters and describe them better and describe their world better. You can be more creative. At least that's what my experience has been. And all of the other writers who I know that I've talked to about getting help for their depression. So if you're using writer's block as an excuse to not write, then get the fuck over yourself. If you're using writer's block as a shorthand for, I went off the rails in my story and I don't know how to fix it, well then, roll up them sleeves. Go back and back and back to the last place in your story that worked and fix it. Go do the work. But if you can't write because you have a medical condition, get help for that. If NaNoWriMo is spurring you on to do more words and finally get out of your own way and believe that you can put words on a page, then kick ass. Find your local community. Find your tribe. I hate that fucking phrase. Find your people and surround yourself with supportive individuals and write NaNoWriMo. If NaNoWriMo is turning you into this quivering stress ball, quit fucking NaNoWriMo. Nobody's gonna come to your house and kick your ass because you stopped posting your daily word count. I promise. And if they do, call me. I'll fuck them up. I'm not going to fuck them up. Don't call me. So, short summation of my clickbait headline. Don't let NaNoWriMo freak you the fuck out. That's dumb. Don't do shit that's awful for you. If it makes you get words out, kick ass, go for it. Don't lean on the time-honored crutch of writer's block to justify you fucking up a plot point and being too lazy to go back and fix it, and now you're stuck in your story. Or, yeah, I really want to fuck off and play video games all day, so I'm just going to sit on the couch and have writer's block. Don't do that. If you can't write because the world is fucked up, then don't push yourself. Maybe you don't have a mental health issue. You may not have depression. Being sad because shit has gone sideways in your life isn't the same as having clinical depression. But you have to deal with both of those things. Sometimes shit goes sideways, and you might not be able to write. That's okay. And if you do have a mental health disorder like depression, like bipolar disorder, something that makes you able to write in great spurts of creativity for 2 days and then not for a week, okay, well, write like hell for those 2 days. Who gives a shit what anybody else thinks about how your process is? My process, dramatically different from Faith Hunter's process, dramatically different from A.J. Hartley's process, dramatically different from Jonathan Mayberry's process, dramatically different from everyone else's process. I named those 3 because they're writers that I respect. And I know that my process is little to nothing like theirs. And they like and apparently respect me too. And it doesn't matter that we work differently. It doesn't matter that you work differently from me. What matters is that you don't take on arbitrary goals that stress you out and damage your calm, and that you get some work done. So stop listening to me babble and go do you. You want to go write something? Awesome. Go write something. You want to go play Diablo 3? Go play Diablo 3. You want to play Pillars of Eternity? I might go play Pillars of Eternity. And if you want to go play Borderlands 3, let me know how it is. I haven't bought that yet. So that's all I got for you tonight. Be good to one another. And be good to yourself. All right? Hey, before you go write, take a minute to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel a lot. And please follow the links in the description to check out the Falstaff Books Patreon and the Falstaff Books website so that you can see whether or not I'm any good at this whole writing thing. And even if you think I suck, we've got some awesome writers in our stable, so you should go buy their shit.